Hey, what's up, guys? How is it going? So today's interview question is, what should be the mindset of a tester? So basically, like, what kind of qualities a tester should have or tester should possess? Okay. So let's go to the slideshow mode. The first skill is obviously excellent communication skill. Like tester interacts with the different stakeholders, like project manager, developers, sometimes product owner, sometimes marketing team or sales team. So they interact with different stakeholders. They should have good communication skills, and they have to put their point across to developer. So developers sometimes get angry or irritated because testers are saying this is not working, that is not working. So and basically your job is to find faults, right? Your job is to find mistakes on the product, right? So they may get angry, and your testers should be able to communicate that without uh, antagonizing the developer. So they need to have excellent communication skill. They need to both written and verbal. And when they are writing the bug report, it should be clearly understood by the developer or other stakeholders. Right. So this is obviously they need excellent communication skill. Second point is they need strong analytical skill or critical thinking skill. Basically they need to understand the system. They need to understand, like, when the system fails, how they can simulate different scenarios, what happens like when they do that, or what are the different kind of patterns are there. So they have to like critically think about the system, and they need to analyze the system very well, so that they can see all different kind of possibilities where other can see only few, right? For example, if I look at like login, normal user they may think of 2 3 scenarios, but a tester may think 10 15 scenarios how to test that. Right? They may think, okay, I can pass on some Chinese character, or I can pass with some blank space, a string with blank space. So they may think they will be like able to think many possibilities. So that's why they need critical thinking skill. They have to be creative. Creativity is very important. For example, if you have to test, like your system, in your system you can schedule something after 20 days, but when you're testing you can't wait 20 days, right? So how do you do that? How do you simulate that situation? There are a lot of scenarios, a lot of situations where real life situation you have to simulate. As a tester you have to simulate. So they need to be creative. They need to be creative to find out a solution for that. And they need to find out different kind of test scenarios also. For that also they need to be creative. Wise time management, this is very important for everyone, like a developer, tester. So for tester is very important because a lot of time it happens, release is coming at the last moment, they have very less time, and they have to find out the most critical issues in less time, right? So they have to manage their time well. So they may have like 100 cases, 1,000 cases, or but they have to pick up only those test cases. They have to utilize, optimize that time in such a way that they can, in a short span, they can run critical test cases and find out maximum number of bugs. So time management is a very critical skill to have. Technical tools and technical knowledge. So there are many test scenarios. You need to set up the test environment. You need to analyze the the environment. Like for example, if you have to do load testing or you have to do some video testing, you need to use different kind of tools and different kind of framework and different kind of libraries, so that you can develop your test automation framework. You can not only test automation framework, like normal, like for but testing itself, you might be using tool to improve your productivity and to generate test data. For example, in our video testing, we were using media info, FFmpeg, different kind of test tools to generate media data, and doing some kind of video comparison. There are different kind of Docker tools, framework applications we are using. So they need to have good technical tools and knowledge, so that their productivity is increased. Automation proficiency, yeah, this is also definitely good to have. Yeah, manual testers, they may not use automation tools, but if they know their automation tools and frameworks, definitely their productivity will increase many folds. So, and it's not only automation tools, there are like tools, frameworks, any things which can improve their productivity. It's good to have. This is a very important skill. Other than that, they should be curious to learn, curious to explore. Like in an application, there are like a lot of features are there. They have to try out everything. They need to be curious. What is this? Or why this feature is working this way? How other application behaves in this scenario? So they have to be. They explore. They should explore different kind of applications, similar application, whatever they're testing. They should be curious to learn. They should go through a lot of product documentation, requirement documentations, different kind of specs. So they need to have good, they should be curious to learn and explore. Then evaluate the possibilities of failure. They have to figure out different kind of scenarios where the system can fail. Should be able to spot patterns. Okay, if I do this, this is happening. If I do that, that is happening. So there is some pattern maybe, okay. They should be able to identify the pattern. And if something is out of pattern, they should be able to identify that, report a bug maybe, right? So that is also very important. Risk evaluation. What kind of risk are there in the system that they should be able to evaluate. They should have system thinking, should be able to, should be flexible and able to switch between the big picture and the detailed view. Should be able to understand the system as a whole. And system thinking means how this system is interacting with the other system, how it's interacting with the other environment, right? So all these things they need to have. They need to understand the as a whole perspective. Developer may be working on a small module backend. You are a developer working on a maybe UI module, but as a tester, maybe you have to have whole encompassing view, the whole product you need to understand as a whole product perspective, right? So you need to have big thinking skill, big picture you need to get, and also the each area detailed feature wise also understanding is required. Another skill which is required inside out thinking. So find the gaps between the expectation and reality, right? So what is the actual, what is the expected, and what are the different kind of assumptions are there? They should be able to figure it out. Eye for detail, right? Should be able to like find out small mistakes somewhere, right? Maybe spelling mistake, or sometimes what happens, like if you're using this application for long, some dialog pops up, we just click on OK or cancel. There may be some text we don't read it. But testers, they should have eye for detail. Even they are testing for long, if there's some mistake in the text or whatever is popping up, they should be able to detect, right? They should have that kind of eye for detail. They should have a lot of patience because sometimes you have to test the same thing again and again, release after release, right? Okay, the developer release something and something is broken. Again, the developer sends release, again you have to test it. Again, something is broken. Again, they send release. Again, you have to test it. So you need to have a lot of patience actually to test the same thing again and again. So testers should have a lot of patience. And last thing is like thinking from the end user perspective. That's most important. Testers should think from the customer point of view, because customer is the end user customer. They're going to use this application, right? So they will be thinking from their perspective. So they are the skills I think testers should have. So we'll just go through quickly. Excellent communication, strong analytical skills, critical thinking skills, be creative, wise time management, technical tools and technical knowledge proficiency, automation proficiency, curious, should be able to explore new things, evaluate the possibility of failure, being able to spot patterns, risk evaluation, system thinking, getting the big picture, being flexible, inside out thinking, eye for detail, having a lot of patience, and finally thinking from the end user perspective. So if you guys have liked the video, please subscribe my channel and like it. And there is a link below to our Telegram group. Please join the group. We'll share more such videos in the group.